All right, do you believe in a sixth sense? Because according to a BBC article, in times of high stress, sometimes people feel the presence of others when they're actually alone. So psychologists call this a felt presence, and it's often described as a, quote, thickness in the air. Cherie, have you ever experienced this sensation?
I mean, I feel it right now, like there's a lot of people watching us have this. I don't know if that's something. Yeah, there's something there.
Does it feel about like 42 people?
Yeah.
Does that feel like?
Yeah, something. Yeah, I will say absolutely. There are moments where you don't feel alone. And I was looking at the article, and it was saying, there's this idea of a three-man track, but it's the fourth person. And it occurred to me that in those moments, I think a part of it, besides the sort of supernatural element, might be that it's us. It's us sort of, we're participating in our life and also observing ourselves at the same time. Which sounds like very fancy existential dread. But I think is actually something that we do just as humans, really, to sort of help navigate and narrate ourselves through stressful moments.
Interesting.
I remember reading, I don't know if anyone's ever heard this, but that babies sort of are kind of between planes of existence, that they sort of, because they come into this world, I mean, and again, if you start going down the rabbit hole just thinking about, I sometimes say to Jai, I'm like, where were you before you got here? And he goes, oh, I was just around. Like, he'll just say, if you ask children this, they'll come up with interesting things. But anyway, when he was a baby, I remember reading this and then sitting with him, and he would sometimes be like staring off at like some presence, something, or at least that's what I told myself. It's possibly had gas, but I was just sort of like, I had the feeling and the sense that there was a warm presence, and that maybe it was like a grandparent or something like that who passed on. I don't know.
Listen, I only have a sixth sense when I'm being cheated on. That's the only time.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, it's like,
say it.
He just walks in there, girl, I go, it just comes over me. I don't know about the spirits, but I got something right here. I'm like, different. But that's the only one I have.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the same thing. I think that people talk about, the openness that maybe kids have. I think we might talk ourselves out of having that extra sense of something. Like animals have it.
Yeah.
Remember the stories of the tsunami in Japan? And they were like, follow the animals. They all took off days before the tsunami hit. And I think as we get older and live in a very busy life, we can actually shut down parts of our instinct.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna just leave because I feel something, and I think I should probably head up to the top of a mountaintop. No, I'm just kidding. But I do think that there is definitely something to it. I don't know what that is, but Marqueza would often stare.
Right?
And I was like, I thought those were my grandparents.
Same.
Oh, wow.
Well, this is something that we talk about, in my community. I come from the Georgian Bay Métis community, and in a lot of Indigenous communities, we talk about the sense of, that babies and that the elderly have gifts that are often discounted, or we that's someone being forgetful, that's them just being distracted. But really, it's that they are the closest on either end to creation, and so they have insights, and so it's important to keep those people close and pay attention to them.
Thanks for watching. We've got lots more discussion and debates on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.